Like we're getting a call. Hello, caller.
Hi, Lily.
Hi, what can we do for you today? Weigh in on this subject. How do you feel about this?
Long time caller, first time. Anyways, I get a question.
Sure.
What the fuck? I try to spank my old lady's ass. I'm the worst person on earth.
So you've tried spanking and it hasn't worked out for you. Is that what I'm hearing?
Worked out. I get past spank number one, and then that's it.
Is this something that you've talked to her about? Or did you just go ahead and do it?
Well, both ways I tried. Even the surprise, no, that didn't work out so good.
And how do you feel about all this mainstream attention with all these movies that have come out with these themes in them? What do you think about this?
I'm a little jealous, actually. I mean, they get to do all this bullshit. No, I don't.
Well, thank you so much for weighing in today. You have a great day, and thank you. Please call again. We just got a message from one of our fans. We forgot to discuss the Anne Rice books and the Sleeping Beauty trilogy. I guess there are some themes in those that relate to our subject matter today. Thank you very much, Goat. Hey, Goat. How you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good. This is your friendly neighborhood goat, and I will have to say between IMVU and Half-Life, I've only tried Half-Life once and couldn't get into it. Yes, you're right. A lot of strange things can happen on IMVU. You knowing and everybody else knows that's been on it for more than a couple of years. You've seen your weird crap on there. But it also does have some good things. Due to INDU, I've met Sass, and we've been now married for 2.5 years going on. So yes, you do make good friends, and then you do come across those that do actually find true love on there.
Oh, that's really a good point. You've made a very, very good point about that. There are a lot of people that have actually found really great relationships due to that. But there's also people that use it for not so noble reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know, but that's the sad part. You always hear about the horror side of it. Like when people take in gaming, as everybody knows, in roleplay, completely into real life.
True. And they actually really get, it gets to be where it takes over their life almost, you know?
Exactly.
Well, and how do you feel about, I mean, I know that IMVU has a very large BDSM community, which, is kind of plays into it. There are people that use it because they are not able to live it in real life. So how do you feel about that aspect of it?
To me, that's great. They actually get to roleplay that side out where normally you can't do that because you're living with either roommates or with family members. And if you're actually into the lifestyle, they get to do that on there. So, I mean, it has its ups and downs. It all depends on how the individual takes it.
True.
As Go, he role plays a pet. So he doesn't know the other side of that.
True. It is, the ones that have been with me, and there's two of them. One has been with me for 4 years, and one has been with me for 3 years. And we have a really, great friendship. They talk to me about everything. It's not just, they talk to me about their real lives and what's going on in their real life. And we've come to be really, really good friends. And of course, there's Jay. He has become somebody that, although he drives me nuts from time to time, he has become one of the people I lean on, especially in here. And I've made so many good friends, and I even have I have a mom and a dad here, and sisters and nieces, and it's really great. I do weigh it with real life. I do make sure that I make time for my real life as well. But I do enjoy being here with my virtual family as well. And I know there are a lot of people that basically push aside their real life for their virtual life. And I find that that can be a little sad, and they end up getting hurt in the long run because, once this is gone, they have nothing else. It's really great to hear from you, Goat. I'm hoping Jay will call back, and I will see you back in the room.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and we have a caller. Yes, hello. How are you today?
Hello, Lily.
How are you doing, Jay?
I just wanted to thank you, dear.
For
After listening to your list, I don't feel so bad about myself wanting a little bit of butt sex, and then that's it.
Well, I guess that's good to know. It kind of makes you feel a little less bizarre with your own likes if you're here what some other people are into, huh?
Indeed. Anyway, I just wanted to thank you, Lily. I'll let you carry on, love.
Have a good day, Jay.
You too.
Bye-bye. Well, I guess we are helping people by maybe discussing these things, and so that there's a lot of people out there that maybe don't feel so weird about things that they are into. If you hear the spectrum of what's out there, I'm sure there is a fetish for everything. There's a fetish for trees. There are people who are into, obviously, bestiality, animals. But I kind of feel that... Oh, we have another call. It looks like Goat is calling. Hello, Goat. How are you?
This is your neighbor-friendly hood goat with Sass this time, even though she's being chicken.
Hi, Saz. How are you? So you guys want to weigh in on fetishes?
Yeah, there are some great fetishes and some strange ones, as you mentioned. There's also, I'm not sure the dictionary medical term of it. You got your clown phobia, which people that likes to have sex with clowns.
Yes. And furries. Let's not forget furries.
Too. Yeah. Then you have the ones that like to be wrapped up as mummies.
Really? I've never heard of that one.
Yes.
That's got to be a little interesting. I mean, how do you actually function if you're wrapped up as a mummy?
The male or the female, their penis or their vagina is actually left out, along with the breast on the female is still left out.
They're unwrapped.
Yeah, they're unwrapped.
So those are left exposed to enable them to be together,
yes,
so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah, I have claustrophobia, so for me that one's just out. Just so would not work.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, no, see, I just, no, not me. The same with like tiny spaces, closets or anything. Yeah, just no. Claustrophobia, just forget about it. I'd be freaking out and would have no enjoyment in that.
For me, I'd be willing to try anything other than the water sports or the
yeah, right.
the poo play, other than scat, other than being sealed in a bag with all the oxygen taken out. That I would have a problem with.
Yeah, I kind of those are definitely and a lot of the blood ones. That's just no. no, I don't want somebody cutting me or, yeah, no, that's definitely not my thing. Although, to each his own, as long as what you're doing is with somebody that can consent to that behavior, I have no judgments, for
Yeah,
what
as long as
everybody
you have
does.
that trust in your partner or your significant.
And as long as your partner can consent.
Yeah.
People
As long
that are into bestiality, they're with some,
They're with
a beast that
an
can't
animal.
consent, And believe it or not, as Jimmy spoke about last week, there are places in the world where that's still legal. So
Yeah.
that's
It's
just,
whatever makes the individual happy.
yep.
I mean, who are we to say no, that is wrong? Because unfortunately, the U.S. is one of those that actually looks down on everybody else, saying, no, that's wrong, when you
True.
have other countries that are more open minded than what we are, unfortunately.
Absolutely. The United
It's a
States
shame
really
that we.
has they're really quite prudish when it comes to a lot of things, nudity, sexuality. They're very they kind of stick to their puritanical ancestry and culture with that. They're very, where there are other countries where in Britain you see women on the front page of the newspaper with their breasts exposed and
Oh,
nobody
I know,
thinks
and
anything of it. But here it's a problem. We got
and
to hide
it's
that. Oh my God.
and it's a shame that we're like that. We should be more open minded,
Absolutely.
like the rest of the world, but unfortunately, we're not. We need to
True.
actually be more open minded, like everybody else is.
Yep. I think there would be less problems and more people able to discuss problems that they have, in the bedroom, outside of the bedroom, if they weren't so worried about being judged all the time or being thrown in jail.
Oh yeah,
Up until very recently, homosexuality was illegal. You got thrown in jail for it. It
oh
was the psychiatric institution saw it as a mental problem, that there was actually something wrong with these people, and they needed to be fixed. When the reality is there's nothing wrong with them.
there is nothing wrong with that, and I'm a firm believer because I was in the military. I don't care what their orientation is. If they can have my back in a foxhole, I don't care.
Yeah, and that's how everybody should view it, but not
Yep.
everybody does. So.
Thank you.
Have a great day, Goat. Great
You
talking to
too.
you. Hi, Sass.
Hi.
Have a good day, honey. Bye-bye. We have a caller, and it looks like Jay's calling us. Hello, Jay. How are you today? Happy Pagan Fertility Day.
Yeah, I'd like number 5 and a General Tso's chicken. And can I get an extra set of chopsticks?
So what have you got to add to, the paganism, Wicca, so on and so forth? Anything?
I don't know what to believe anymore. The Bible says, love thy neighbor, love thyself. What am I supposed to do? Jerk them off too?
Well, I
Sorry.
hope you have... What was that?
Yeah, you might get carried.
I got fellas over here yapping. Anyways, carry on, Lily.
Have a great day.
I'm trying.
Okay, that was a little bizarre. Okay, let's get back to paganism. Of course, I was going to say that one big thing about pagans is they really worship nature. They worship the world around them. They find beauty and mystery in everything. They're very big into nature, and they don't see it as an inanimate object. Everything around them is alive and has a life force, which they actually really worship and respect. So with its respect for plurality, the refusal to judge other ways of life as wrong simply because they differentiate from one's own, and with it, venation of nature and the supernatural world from which Westerners in the age of technology have become increasingly isolated. They hold on, we have another call. Hey Goat, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, somewhat without a voice. Calling in for your subject and what you're talking about.
So what would you like to add?
Well, amazingly, for once, I actually did research. Very scary word for me. Yes, a lot of the pagan holidays the Christians did, I don't want to say steal, but they did borrow.
Oh, they absolutely stole it.
I was trying to be nice, that way I don't upset anybody. Let's see. From what I found, the pagans' religion, which I'm Egyptian pagan, I follow Anubis and Bastet. Strange mix, I know. Let's see. Trying to read this. The Wiccan religion got its really big push in the 1950s.
Well, I think that the Wiccans were always there, only they hid a little more out of Christianity was really trying to convert a lot of people to Christianity, and a lot of these Wiccans were actually shamans, they were healers, they were midwives, and in order to get people who were following them to follow Christianity, they started to vilify Wiccans. They started to make them out to be evil and of the devil rather than of nature and loving and healing. You know what I mean?
That is true. One of the major golden rules of Wicca and pagan is do no harm to others. It's
Exactly.
the threefold karma law. As long as we do, karma will come back on us good 3 times. If we do bad, it goes back on us 10 times fold. So we don't try to harm others. We don't have that where the other religions put where we sacrifice babies. So far from what I've read, not even the Satanism does that.
No, Satanist, which I was going to get to, is actually more about being true to yourself, answering to yourself, and basically being responsible for your own actions. It's not about putting things on a deity. It's about you are the ruler of your own self and you are responsible for your actions in this world.
The only one thing I had to say bad about Satanism is how they converted the Wiccan symbol and turned it upside down. That's where I think a lot of people get lump, a lot of the pagans and Wiccans into Satanism, because if you look at the traditional Wiccan and pagan symbol, it is a star, 5-point star, but it's not upside down. It's the correct way.
Yeah, so a lot of people do get confused between the two.
Yeah.
And what kind of celebrations do you follow as a pagan? What kind of holidays do you basically celebrate?
Well, I do the Wiccan ones. Right now, unfortunately, that is one of the ones I did not put on my notes. I didn't think to actually list them. But since my wife is somewhat Pentecostal, I know, we do both actually. So we do meet in the middle. She doesn't judge me, I don't judge her. If she has a question, she comes to talk to me about it, about what I practice. So we actually get along just fine.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. That's not something a lot of couples can say. Religion and beliefs tend to tear people apart more than anything else. Although, from everything I've read about pagans and Wiccans, they really don't judge other people.
No,
it's kind of a live and let live kind of philosophy. And, just don't step on them, and they don't really care what you do. They're not trying to convert you. They're not saying you're going to go to hell, which I think is everybody's biggest issue with any kind of belief system is, let me do what I'm going to do, and that's between me and my conscience.
I can only speak for me because I can't speak for other people because I don't know how other people feel. For me, it's let be and do no harm.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
why and if you ever meet two fellow pagans or Wiccans, they'll say blessed be when they part. That means merry partings and grateful journey from what I can remember.
Yeah, it does. It's always great to talk to you, Goat, and tell Saz I said hi, and I hope you guys have a great holiday.
You too.
Have a good day. Bye, Goat.
Bye.
Hello, Mandy.
Hi.
So what do you have to say about this subject?
Well, honestly, I think it could be a combination of both nature and nurture.
Okay. How so?
Well, because of the fact that it could be where you're born and who you're born to. I know where I'm from, probably about 30 miles from here, the serial killer Ed Gein was. And due to that fact, I know the history of him, and where the city he was, it was very laid back and whatnot. So he was probably born with that evil in him. But there are other places that are inherently evil that bring up very kind-hearted people. So I honestly think it's a combination of both.
Okay. Jeffrey Dahmer, for example, had a very normal childhood, two loving parents, never abused, and look how he turned out. You just got to kind of wonder did his parents know? Were there signs when he was a child that there were issues?
He had mommy issues.
Okay, but he killed gay men. So.
Yeah, and he felt that if he was gay, his mom would love him more.
Okay, so he was a self-hating gay who decided that he couldn't, it wasn't something he could deal with, so he just wanted to kill that in him. I mean, it seemed from a lot of what I've heard, especially about Jeffrey Dahmer, that he also had separation anxiety issues, where he didn't want these people to leave him, which is why he wanted to create almost a zombie love slave.
Yeah.
So in the end, I don't think his ultimate motive was to kill them. His ultimate motive was to keep them with him, which I think is why he also ate them, was because his experiments on them to make them zombies didn't work out, so the only way that he could keep them with him was to eat them.
This is true. And I actually find that absolutely horrifically creepy.
I think most people do.
I mean, when you actually think about keeping men's private parts and their testicles in your freezer, you gotta admit that's absolutely horrifically creepy.
Yes, that is. Although I'm sure there are a few ex-husbands out there who feel that their ex-wives have their bowls on a shelf in the living room.
Yeah, there are a couple of people that I know I would love to do that too.
Well, thank you so much for calling in today, Mandy.
You're welcome. I'll
Have
talk
a
to you
great
later,
day.
sexy lady.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Jay is calling again. Let's see what he has to say. Yes, Jay, what have you got to say on this?
Hello, Lily. Anyways, I think evil is pretty much programmed into us. Wait, wow. Anyways, am I still on?
Yes, you're still here.
Anyways, I think it's programmed into us, into our genes, in the most part, because we do come from an animal species or animal world where things are settled with violence. Humankind, we try to take it out of us, and sometimes we fail, and then we get serial killers and people about AWAC and all kinds of crap.
Well, how would you explain the doctor who found that his brain worked similar to a psychopath's but had none of those tendencies? I mean, he's got it hardwired into his brain, but he never acted on it, never even had the impulse.
Well, that's where I say it's more genetic than in the brain, and genetic develops the brain. But it's all with us, and humans are trying to be, everybody be nice and this and that, and it's not really us. Animals in the instinct, and we're trying to genetically breed it out or do whatever. And sometimes things go wrong. But I do believe it's a choice, but it's in us.
So basically, we have to fight that battle every day.
Every other day, when you go to work, Mondays, who knows. Anyways, thank you, Louie, and love the shirt. Have a good day, love.
Bye. It's always a pleasure hearing from Jay. We have Goat calling in. Hold on 1 second. Hey, welcome, Goat. How are you today?
Hey, Wild.
Oh, it's Saz. Hi, Saz. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. We're talking about cults today. What do you have to say about that?
Well, you brought, what was his name?
David Koresh.
David Koresh. He is from my area where
In Texas. Yes, he is.
I haven't got to go see where the plant was, but my thought was that the cults, I guess you would call this one a semi-cult, the ones that are on TV that try to lure people in, that if they touch you or anything, you're magically healed.
Oh, yeah. The, what are they called? I know exactly who you're talking about, too. They are the evangelicals, the ones that speak in tongues. I actually, when I was a young girl, I went to a Spanish Pentecostal church. Now, I'm a very white girl, and I'm sitting here in the Spanish church, young girl, could not speak Spanish, and all I see is this man touching people, and they're passing out and going into convulsions, and he's like, and he came near me, and I didn't want him to touch me because I was afraid I was going to pass out and go into convulsions. So it was a very bizarre atmosphere to be subjected to at 7, 8 years old, to see this, and have no idea what was going on. It was my first exposure to anything like this.
Yeah, it's very odd. You was talking about the KKK as well.
Yes, I was on the KKK when you guys called in. They're actually, and I didn't know this myself, they were actually started by extremist Christians who did not like the fact that blacks weren't slaves anymore. They didn't like the Jews in their area, the Catholics. They felt all these people were taking over and that they needed to kind of make a stand and make their own secretive little club and, to try and stamp out all this stuff.
They try, and they lure people in thinking that, hey, you help us, we'll help you get a peaceful environment where you ain't gotta deal with no trouble. But we see how well that worked.
Have you guys, you probably don't know this, but have you run into the KKK down there? I mean, I know that's kind of that's kind of a stereotype because you guys are down south that you must have seen the KKK at some point. Just curiosity. I'm sure that there's a lot of people in the KKK that you have no idea that they're actually in that. It's one of those secret organizations,
It's not so secretive as it used to be.
So they're more out in the open now?
Down here in Texas, yes.
Have you guys actually seen them? Are they, kind of doing any kind of protests or rallies or any kind of KKK, let's get together and have a picnic kind of thing going on down there?
But in Fort Lauderdale, you'd be surprised. That I can honestly say, yes, I have seen that in Fort Lauderdale and Florida.
Wow. That's just, I mean, yeah, I'm from East Coast, so for me, it's like alien to me, I just would not even know what to say. I'd be like laughing.
But when it comes down to it, anybody with big charisma that can be bigger than life can actually start a cult. It involves a lot of brainwashing.
Well, it involves knowing people and being able to read people and to extract what you want out of them, including loyalty.
Well, if you look at it, most cults nowadays, even when you brought up David Koresh, Jim Jones, and a couple of them have started on the religious aspects.
Of course, and then they kind of take it and twist it.
Oh yeah, that's like anybody. I mean, most of the cults, other than a few of them that I can think of, random, falls back once again on the religion. Supposedly, me and Sass are supposed to go to the David Koresh Branch Davidians, where it actually took. We're planning on making a trip there.
In Waco?
In Waco, that's where we actually live.
Oh, okay. So it's probably somewhere relatively close to where you are.
It's actually on the outskirts of town.
Okay.
It's about a 20-minute drive.
Now, of course, you know that Charlie Manson, they considered his little family a cult as well.
Exactly. I was gonna say that, but once again, you beat me to it.
You do that a lot.
Yeah, cults are actually one of my interests. Kind of what motivates people to want to put themselves through this for somebody else. How do you do that? Like, if somebody came to me and said, well, you have to do this or you have to do this and this is the way, I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
For a person that is actually, from what I've seen and from what I've read, it's a person that has low self-esteem that can be easily preyed on.
Preyed on, yeah.
Basically, they'll lure them in saying, hey, here's some drugs later on. Then that's when the manipulation actually takes
And
effect.
some of it isn't even drugs. A lot of times what they do is they prey on their need for family and their need to belong and their need to be valuable. They want to be seen as valuable and worthy. And what they do is, and this is typical brainwashing technique, is they lavish them with praise and love. And you'll find this also in abusive relationships, where they will lavish them with love and praise, and then all of a sudden, little by little, they'll chip at their self-esteem and they'll make them feel like they have to do more to get back what they had in the beginning, that love and that adoration, you know what I mean? So they kind of push them further and further and further. Well, now you have to do this because, you know what I mean? And they're always seeking for the way that these people made them feel in the beginning. And in order to do that, they're put with all these hoops that they have to jump through to get that love back, you know? And that's the drug.
Yeah.
Is the love.
But that's standard. Wouldn't any religion be a cult, technically, per se?
Yep, any cult and abusive, domestic abuse, abusive relationships. That's the way it starts out. The guy's charming and he lavishes you with attention and love that you've never had before. And now all of a sudden it's, where's my dinner? And of course you want so much to please him to get that love back, that you're going to follow all these rules and you're going to take the abuse because you think you don't deserve it because you've let him down. It's the same with the cult leaders. You're going to take the abuse because you think you deserve it. You let them down. They were so wonderful to you in the beginning and you've let them down, so you must deserve this, and it's the same dynamic.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, it's always great talking to you guys. It's now time for Ron's Corner. I look forward to talking to you next week. I think we're probably going to do UFOs next week.
Oh, cool. I'll make sure I'm more online. That way me and you can talk, because I have to ask you something offline.
Okay, not a problem. You guys have a great day. Always a pleasure talking to you. Bye. We have Goat calling. Let's see what Goat has to say. Hey, Goat, how you doing?
Doing pretty well. How are you doing today?
Good. What do you think about legal, illegal, depending on where you live? How do you feel about that?
Honestly, after going to Nevada, it comes down to if the person wants to do it. Yes, gambling is addictive, and if you look at it, every state has it. It's called the lottery, Powerball, Mega Millions.
Yeah.
So in one form or another way, we do gamble. But due to the prostitution, yes, they should. It's not fair that one state has it when the rest of the states don't have it. Why is that one state so damn special that they have it, but the rest of the United States can't have it?
Exactly how I feel. Why is I never, this is supposed to be the United States. You travel from one state to another, and the laws are so different from state to state that if you're not aware, you could be breaking the law and not even know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true. Now, going to the drug use or the marijuana, honestly, it should be legalized in every state. No, I do not smoke it due to health reasons. I'm one of those freaking oddballs that if I do smoke it, it does close my throat, which is a bizarre thing. I don't know why. But yes, it should be legalized in all the United States. They should just go ahead and tax it as medical because of the medical use the plant does have. I mean, it's a lot better than watching somebody go through chemotherapy not eating when they can smoke a joint or a bowl and get their appetite back. So they should legalize that, at least.
True. And it has been shown that there are a lot of health benefits to marijuana. Glaucoma, people who have cancer or are suffering from HIV. It tends to boost the appetite so they don't lose so much weight.
Oh yeah, I'm a firm believer one. If somebody's going through that god-awful sickness or some type of health issue, they should be able to. You should be able to go out and buy it on a pack of cigarettes. I mean, I honestly, working at a convenience store, I'd rather have somebody come in stoned off their ass than somebody come in drunk. At least.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Or the chips, other than becoming a gathering idiot, threatening if you don't sell me alcohol, I'm going to whip your ass.
Yeah, and this may be a stereotype, but the people that come in stone, they're probably a little more mellow, a little less, a little more laid back, less confrontational. Alcohol can tend to affect certain people in a negative way. They get confrontational, irritable, and it's not good.
I'd rather deal with somebody that's just got done smoking a bowl that's mellow than a loudmouth, obnoxious drunk, to be honest. And Texas does have a casino here. That's not just slots either. You forgot Texas.
Oh, well, Texas was actually not on the list when I did my Google search.
We have one.
Is it on a reservation?
I believe so. It's about 30 miles out of Waco, but they consider it still in Waco for some strange reason.
Yeah, it's probably on a reservation. For some reason, they've allowed Indian reservations to open up casinos, which I think is amazing.
Oh, we got to get something back from them from after taking their land.
Right? Yeah, they got to get something. Well, thank you so much for calling in today, Goat. It's always a pleasure to hear from you, honey.
Thank you.
Tell Saz I said hi.
I will when she gets home from work.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Ron's calling. Hey, Ron, what do you have to say about this, my friend?
Well, first off, I would like to say that everyone should be able to smoke whenever the fuck they want.
True. The sad thing is, even in the states where it is legal, there are certain jobs where you still can't smoke pot, even in your off time, in your downtime, because you're still subjected to DOT drug screens. So if it was found that you had smoked pot, and of course you know that pot stays in your system for quite a long time, so if it's found that you have smoked pot, it comes up in your system, you lose your job, even though it's legal in that state.
Well, you can always have something to make you be prepared for that. There's ways to get around it.
Yeah, but it's a random drug test, so you really don't know when it's coming up, and they are really, really tightly regulated. I know with my job, I'm in an industry that does random drug tests, and it's a 2-hour window, and they watch you when you use the bathroom. So there's really, it's really hard to get around. Really hard to get around.
I feel bad for people. I'm in California having a good time. I think everyone should be able to smoke. It'd chill everyone out. I see all these messed up pills being forced down people's their throats,
Yeah.
and it changes their mind. They're this one person before, then they get these pills, and then they're comatose.
Yep.
They're
yep.
walking zombies. And
If they just smoked a joint, it would probably help much better, and there's less side effects.
Exactly. I mean, I smoke constantly, and I'm able to perform my normal everyday functions. You know, the things I got to do for family, the things I got to do, for work stuff. Anything I can do it and smoke and function. I don't think you can be this comatose person smoking pot.
How do you feel about prostitution?
I think it should be legalized, and the only reason I think it should be legalized, if people want to make that decision to go do that with somebody, that's their decision. And if there's people wanting to do that for a living, that's their decision. And I think it should be controlled, because then you could have, all these prostitutes could be getting checked out. Well, let's, call them escorts, so it's not so bad sounding, but, they could get their STD tests, and
Yep.
they could be checked up on, they could stop, the spread of diseases, and then we know it's a safe environment.
And there's
Get the
also
pimps out of there.
And there's also the victimization. A lot of them become victims because they have no support system, because it's not legal. So who do they go to when they have a problem? Who do they go and talk to when they have a problem with a client? It's
Well, that's
not
why
like
they have
can
pimps,
call.
and they get beat by their pimps too, and
Yeah,
it's
but
just a bad situation.
some of them are independent contractors too, and
Well, that's
they
true
don't
too.
have
But
anybody.
then they just become victims, and it's more like they're rape victims. They're setting themselves up,
Exactly.
to be in a bad place. So I think it should be legal. It could be a lot safer. And another thing is the states could take the tax money from that.
Yep.
So I just look at it like revenue.
Exactly. And you're never going to stop it. It's called the world's oldest profession for a reason.
Exactly.
And in countries where it's more regulated, there's a lot less woman-on-woman crime. There's a lot less rape, and there's also a lot less STDs. So I don't understand why we are one of the foremost powers in the world, and yet we're so far behind in so many areas. And it's just, I think it goes back to our puritanical roots, or at least the puritanical roots of the country, not necessarily ours, but, of the people that founded this country. It was based on,
It's all capital.
yeah, exactly.
And then you mentioned the gambling thing. I'm not certain if you knew in California, though. I mean, we do have a lot of Indian casinos here. We also have casinos that aren't on Indian land as well.
You do. I
Yes.
didn't. Did I see that? Let's see. California.
I mean, just in my small city, we have a couple card rooms. If you go into a couple cities over, they have like an actual place that they remodel, and it's like a 2-story big chunk of land out in the middle of a city that has like 150,000 people.
Nice.
But
I mean, I'm not much of a
gambling,
gambler, but
I think it has its pros and cons. You see a lot of people, where it sucks them out, sucks everything out of them. But then you have people that could take it as a pastime, or an occasional thing where they go out with their buddies and they're all, having a guy's time out for 4 hours, and they do that once a year or something. It's not like it's something they always do. And I think gambling should be looked at like a fun experience, not something you abuse.
yeah, exactly. And I think it would be easier if gambling was legal nationwide, just like prostitution, that people who are having a problem with it can easily go for help, instead of the stigma that's attached to, not as much of a stigma as prostitution, but there's still a stigma where it's illegal, and you've lost all your money and you must be a bad person. when they actually just get addicted to the rush of it. And they end up ruining their lives and not being able to go for help. So
It is a nice rush to win too. I mean, I've had my luck, gambling a couple times, and you get really up there, then you start to lose, and you're like, oh, you know what, I better stop because I at least want to go home with something. But to have that rush,
Yeah,
just
right.
winning and winning and winning, that's a great feeling.
cool. Thank you so much for calling, Ron. And
All right,
we'll be
you take
seeing-
it easy, and you have a nice day.
And see you later.